Oh, it's cold in here. Get you guys up.
Oh, I have short.
Hey, everybody, why don't we go ahead and stand up, please? Anywhere you like on your mat. Feet about hip width apart. We're going to start with some gentle breathing and some deep stretching to the lungs. And if it's comfortable, we'll maybe try a more challenging pranayama called Kapalabhati. Take a deep inhale. Let's lift the arms like this and fill up your lungs as much as you can. And a nice long exhale, and just take a couple breaths like that as you help your nervous system to relax your body with some breathing. Stretch the ribs a little bit. Let's feel the fascia and muscle around your rib cage that helps you to breathe. Chest muscles, stomach muscles, back muscles, shoulder muscles, neck muscles. All this assists in breathing. Sometimes muscles elevate your rib cage. Some muscles actually constrict or pull your rib cage downward into the lung a little bit to help it exhale. Now, the next time you exhale, the hands, park them at your heart, and let's leave a little air in the lungs. And we're going to try a faster exhale called Kapalabhati. Try it on your own for a few moments. It doesn't have to be fast. I shouldn't say the word fast, just a rhythmic exhale. Don't try to inhale. The inhale will happen as air pressure is pushing air back in your lungs. Just expel the air in rhythm. And let's take a long, slow exhale out. And now take a deep inhale, lift the arms again. But this time, let's empty the lungs and exhale out all the air. Put the hands like this and bend the knee a little bit. Let's sit back into a modified chair and hold the breath. And as you do that, try to move your navel point in and out. That's called the transverse abdominis, and it's really hard to isolate except when we do stuff like this. And let's stand up again. Take a deep inhale. And just exhale a little bit. Leave some air in the lungs. We're going to do another set of that. Let's do a quick, rapid exhale. Great way to oxygenate your bloodstream. And again, it works those respiratory muscles, some of them I mentioned. Take a deep inhale. And exhale out as much of the air as you're comfortable with. Sit back in a chair, hands right on the thigh, under just above your knee, and try moving that navel point in and out. Again, sit-ups and all kinds of different ab work really don't work this muscle system. Stuff like this works it. Transverse abdominis. And let's do one more. Inhale, swing the arms up. Interlock hands this time. And if it's comfortable in your wrist joint, let's stretch the hand for a little while. Push the palm into the air like that and hold that stretch for a little while. While you hold, let's do one more round. And deep exhale out again. But this time, take a deep inhale in. Hold the breath in. As we do that, I want you to pinch the chin to your chest. You're going to contract transverse abdominis. Lift your ribs up. Pull your belly in. That's transverse right there. Tighten the pelvic floor. And relax. You can drop the arms now. And from here on out, our pranayama is just a nice narrow throat with a little bit of sound to the breathing. Let's start kind of easy today. Let's just bring the arms back up on our inhale. Sweep the arms up. And on the exhale, let's gently hinge from the hip and touch the mat. You can bend the knee. And inhale, lift your chest a tiny bit like you're going to touch your head on the wall in front of you. And on the exhale, drop your spine back toward your legs. And let's repeat. Arms swing up, inhale. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And let's do that again. Inhale, swing the arms up. Exhale, hinging from your hip joints, try touching the floor. It's okay if you need to bend your knee a little bit. Inhale, lift your chest forward slightly, create some extension on your spine. And exhale, drop your spine to your legs. And inhale, stand all the way up, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands to your heart. And let's do one more. Inhale, swing the arms up. Exhale, hinge, touch the floor. And lifting the chest slightly, let's take a large step backward with your right foot, please. And if you have a blanket handy, maybe put the blanket under your right knee. Let's take your left arm, circle it up to the sky for a second. And now I want you to bend your left elbow and try to touch the inside of your left foot with your elbow. And now repeat that. Just go back up on your inhale and exhale again. Go back and forth a few times. Try that on your own. Again, you're just warming up, so don't push too deeply into range of motion. It's a pretty big hip flexion, pretty strong hip extension as well. And the next time your left arm lifts, let's just put the hand back on the floor. We'll lift your back knee, and we'll just step up with your right foot. Feet about hip width apart, and we'll stand up, circle the arms up. But this time, I want you to leave your hands like this, and we're just going to hinge and touch the floor in front of your toes. But this time, let's come right back up the same way. Inhale and exhale, touch. And inhale, lift. And exhale, touch. But this time, leave your fingertips there, and we'll step back this time with your left foot. Drop your left knee onto that blanket or the mat and take your right arm, swing it out to the right, touch the ceiling. Now bend your right elbow and stretch to the inside of your foot. It's okay if you don't get very close. Repeat that. Arm swing up and exhale inside the foot. Try that on your own. Move on your breathing. This particular range of motion is really challenging for me. This is one I need to do a lot. I do a lot of hip flexion in the front hip. Now, the next time your right arm lifts, let's put both hands on the floor and step back onto both knees this time. Let's lay flat on your stomach, please. And if it's comfortable on your back, let's try a gentle cobra, lifting your chin, chest, head off the floor, and then just come right back down. And repeat, lifting gentle cobra, and then come back to the earth. Again, on your own pace, at your own range of motion, just move up and down like this. Now this time is different though. Lift and pause and just drop the chin slightly. And as you do that, squeeze your shoulder blades a little tighter. And now just lift the chest a tiny bit higher. And come down, let the forehead touch the floor. Come back up on your hands and knees again, but this time I want you to tuck your chin to your chest, round your back. Let's go back towards those heels, please. Laying the stomach on the thigh, the chest on the knee. And now gently come back up on the hand and knee, but this time, if it's comfortable on your neck, lift your chin, look up towards the ceiling, shoulder blades, pull them back towards the lower back. And repeat, rounding, pull your shoulder blade apart, and go back to your heel again. Move like this on your breathing. Feel that full extension and flexion of the spinal column. Again, a lot of these muscles you're feeling that are moving in the vertebrae in your back, your neck. A lot of that helps you breathe, like the ones in your throat called sternocleidomastoid, those ones you're feeling when you lift your chin up, or the ones that contract when you tuck your chin to your chest. They help lift your sternum as you inhale. Now, the next time you come onto your hands and knees, pause there. And let's take the right hand, reach out towards the window. The left leg, I want you to stretch it back to the back wall. Then repeat on the other side. Put the right hand back on the floor, the knee on the floor. This time, left arm, right leg, and move like this at your own pace. Big part of our training is ambidextrous movement, moving one part of your body opposed to the other part. Really good for your nervous system, great for your coordination, great for your balance. And it makes you use muscles you don't typically rely on in your normal movement. Now, the next time your left hand lands, let's move the hands about a foot past your shoulder and about an inch wider. Turn the elbow away from the window, tuck toes, and when it feels safe, move up and back into your first downward facing dog stretch. And let's hold here. What's the great exercise this particular posture does for your arm muscles, your shoulders, your back muscles? It's a training for some of those respiratory muscles. Right now, your diaphragm is inverted. It's an involuntary muscle like a dome under your lungs, and it helps you. It's really the prime mover of your lungs. And when you invert it like this, it's upside down now. It's very challenging for that muscle to do its work. So it's really good at training breathing, anything that inverts your body like this. Let's take the heels high as the knees bend, and you may walk, step, or hop it up. Feet about hip width apart, arms swing backward, but lift your chest to me. And if it's comfortable on your back, this time grab the ankle gently from behind and give yourself a light tug. And then let go and stand all the way up. Sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Let's do that again. Arms swing up, inhale. Exhale, hinge, touch the floor. Lifting the chest slightly, arms swing back slightly. And then just grab the ankle gently and pull slightly. Now bend the knee a little bit, plant your hands and walk, step, or hop to the top of a push-up. And exhale to the bottom. But this time, choose that back bend, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And this time, let's just hold downward dog for 3 breaths. Remember the hands a little wider than the shoulders, please. Feet a little wider than the hips. Turn the back of your elbow away from the fingernails and try to lift the tailbone towards the sky. The knees don't have to be straight. They can be a little bent if you want. Let's take the heels high, take a peek up to your hands, walk, step, or hop it up. Swing the hands back, the chest rises forward. And when it's comfortable, grab the ankle, just a light tug. You're not doing a deep stretch. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And let's do one more round of that. Arms swing up. Exhale, touch the floor. Inhale, lift your chest slightly, arms swing back. Exhale, grab the ankle gently, tug. Inhale, lift the chest and walk, step, or hop to top of push-up. Exhale to bottom. Inhale, cobra or upward face. Exhale, downward facing dog stretch. 3 breaths. Let's take the heels high as the knees bend. Walk, step, or hop it up. Circle the arms back for a second. Grab the ankle gently for a moment. Inhale, stand all the way up. But this time, let's put the hands on the hips, please. Let's work those hips a little bit. Take the right knee, lift it like that, and abduct the leg as far to the right as you can. Put the foot back on the floor. Same thing with your left leg. Big circles here. It's okay to put a fingertip on the wall. Let's feel gluteus medius, maximus, and those important hip flexor muscles. And there's a little bit of tightness that formed over a night's sleep. You can feel some of that resistance, not just from your bones, but from your muscles. Now, the next time your left foot lands on the floor, let's sweep it up to the sky again, please. And on the exhale, let's touch the sticky mat. And lifting the chest slightly, we're going to take a large step back with your right foot this time. But I want you to spin the right foot out at an angle, plant it there, and let's lift to our first warrior pose, warrior 8. But go ahead and just straighten the front knee. I want you to stretch your shoulder. Take your arms and press them back as far as you can into extension. Now bend the front knee and let's flex the shoulder. And repeat this, moving at your own pace. Stomach muscles are a little tight, protecting your back here. Again, working your balance a little bit, shifting weight position, challenging yourself. And the next time your hands are above your head and your front knee is bent, swing the hands in a big circle and touch the sticky mat. Step back this time into downward facing dog stretch. And on the next inhale, come to top of push-up. And exhale to bottom. And inhale, cobra or upward face. Exhale, downward facing dog. But this time, let's just walk, step, or hop back up to your hands. Swing your hands behind you. If it's comfortable, interlock fingers this time. Exhale, fold into your legs. Now swing your hands towards me and stand up. And at the top, you're going to stretch the muscles on the back of your arm. Tuck your tailbone like that. Maybe lean backward slightly. Let's go back down gently and touch the sticky mat again. And we're going to just take a large step back with your left foot this time. Let's come up into warrior A again. And go ahead and just straighten the knee. The arms come out. In fact, let's do something different this time. Bring your arms out parallel like that. Turn your thumbs back to the back wall. And I want you to work your knuckles. Squeeze your knuckles like that. See that I'm working my knuckles? Now, when you bend your knee, let's bring your hands together. And when you straighten your knee, push your arms back into abduction and repeat. Move on your breath. Let's feel the shoulder muscles, rotator cuff muscles, scapula muscles, chest muscles. Again, lots of these muscles help you. Well, maybe not the rotator cuff so much, but definitely scapula and chest muscles help you breathe. Now, the next time your knees are bent, arms are here, let's just put the hands safely on the floor. Now let's step back into down dog again. And inhale to top of push-up. Exhale to bottom. Inhale, cobra or upward face. Exhale, downward facing dog, but this time let's hold downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Inhaling. Exhaling 1. Inhaling. Exhaling 2. Much deeper inhale, and I want you to walk backward on your hands towards your feet. This time, those different. Swing the arms backward, lift the chest to me. And if it's okay in your back, grab the ankle. If that's not a good idea, we're going to put the fingertips on the floor. Either way is fine, and hold to stretch if you want to. Hold. Make it as deep or as gentle as you like. It's one of these poses, even with back issues, you really need to be doing some form of Uttanasana, or in this case, Padahastasana. And it might be a little gentler, which is fine. Emphasize the stretch. Put the hands on the hips this time. Let's come up with a nice flat back, please. And shifting that weight on, well, let's keep the right hand where it is. Left arm lifts. We're going to stretch our back like so. And then inhale back to center and go to the left. Let's try that side to side motion for a few moments. And the next time you come back to center, let's put the hands at the center of the chest. Let's take a pretty big step forward with your right foot, please. If it's comfortable on your back foot, lift your back heel off the floor. And we're going to try to bend both knees. Bend the back knee as well as the front knee. And I want you to turn your shoulders towards that breathe sign on the wall to your right. Now, come back to a straighter knee and turn your shoulders back to me. And repeat the same exact thing, moving on your breathing. The challenging one, obviously, is the back knee. You want to really try to bend the back knee as much as you're comfortable with. Again, I want you to stay out of painful areas in your foot and in your knee, but get the knee as close to the floor as you're comfortable with. Really work those quadricep muscles. Great one to build strength on your muscles here. Now, next time you come back to center, we're just going to put the hands safely on the floor and step back into down dog. But this time you get to choose what to do. Stay here and rest if you prefer this time, and skip the push-up and up dog, or inhale to top of push-up instead. Exhale bottom, inhale cobra upward face, exhale downward face. Some of you are already done. Okay, so whatever. I'll just, you know what to do. 3 breaths, please. Nice. Let's walk backward on your hands again, please. Now put your hands on your hips again and come up with a flat back. And let's go ahead and gently bring the arms above your head. Now, actually, let's put the feet a little farther apart, everybody. Turn the foot out at an angle. Now, we're going to do some squatting here. Now, if you're comfortable with the squats, you're going to come down as close to the heel as you're comfortable with. Now, again, you don't have to sit down this deep. I'm going to sit down pretty deep here. And then I'm going to stand right back up. And I'm going to repeat that, moving on my breathing. On the way down, you'll exhale. And on the way up, inhale. And again, whether you sit all the way to your heel or not is up to you. You can make it a little easier on your knees today if that's not a good idea for your knee joints. This is definitely one range of motion you want to be doing your entire life. Squats are so important, not just for the legs strength. They're really good for your lower back and sacrum area. You can feel a lot of the muscles you're working are attached to the pelvis and sacrum in some form. Now, next time you stand up, we'll just take a pretty big step forward with your left foot this time. And if it's comfortable, lift your back heel, and we'll just do that same sequence on this side. As you bend both knees, turn the shoulders to the left. And as you straighten the knees, just square the shoulders to the windows. And repeat. Again, the challenging knee is the back knee. Try to get the knee as close to the floor as you're comfortable with. Stay at sharp areas. I don't want you to feel sharpness in your knee or even your toes. Which means you might have to reduce the range of motion, not increase it. Notice that core work, oblique strength, working those respiratory muscles called obliques. Now, next time you center, let the hands find the floor safely and step back, downward dog. And again, you choose, stay here and rest or go through that sequence from push up to up dog. Downward facing dog when you're ready. 3 breaths. Let's bring your right foot forward this time. Coming up into Warrior A on our next inhale. And this time I want you to swing the arms in a circle. We're going to lay your left elbow under your right. And if it's comfortable, just grab the shoulder like that. Maybe the back of the hand touches, maybe a prayer. If you have that prayer, let's squeeze the shoulder blade tighter and push your elbows a tiny bit away from you. Stepping up with your left foot, you could do a more moderate chair, so something that looks more like this today. Or we'll take the left leg, we'll lift it carefully around the right leg. Breathe. Deep inhale, lengthen, exhale. See if you can push the right knee a tiny bit to the right, the left knee a tiny bit to the left, and resistance train your legs. There's already a lot of resistance, whether you're sitting in squat or you're crossing legs. So it's not like you're not already doing that. Just a way to add something here. Now, stand back up, please. Put the left foot on the floor and let your hands be here at your chest like this. Now, I want you to shift your weight to your left foot, and we're just going to carefully hinge like this into what looks like a warrior C. But on the next inhale, just stand up and put the right foot back on the floor like that. And repeat. Those blocks are down there. Feel free to turn the block to the tall side and just use a block under the fingertips. This is not easy, standing and lowering like this, very challenging. And the next time you go into Warrior C, I want you to come back to Warrior A position. Step right into it with your right foot. And now the arms, let's bring them up like that, please. And interlock fingers like this behind your head. Squeeze the shoulder blade. Now swing the hands into this position. If it's comfortable, interlock again like that. And now pull the shoulders forward and elbows forward. Now try this. Stretch back like that. And repeat. Pull back the shoulders towards me. Then squeeze the shoulder blade and interlock under your head, behind your head like that. And repeat. Shrug forward, lift, shrug forward, and squeeze. Last one's different. Shrug, interlock, lift or shrug forward and lift like that. Now, if it's comfortable, hold the stretch like this. And we're going to lay your stomach on your thigh, your chest on your knee. And when it feels safe, I'd like you to consider straightening that front knee. And the hands can go on the floor if you prefer. Make it intense if that feels good for your body. And if you want to make it gentler, that's fine too. Right hip forward, left hip backwards. Feel the strength in your feet, your knee joints, your hips, your back. Now, bending the front knee, put your hands on the floor and step back into down dog. This time, though, I don't want you to skip any of this exercise. Let's come to plank, everybody, and let's lower flat on the mat. Now, you're just going to rest your hands under your head right now, but I want you to bend your left knee, and I want you to point your toe at the ceiling. Now, take your left knee and just lift it as high off the floor as you can comfortably, then bring it back down onto the mat, and repeat exactly the same thing, lifting and lowering the leg. Feel hamstring, feel glutes, feel lower back muscles. And notice the limitation on the front of the hip. Notice the hip flexor tightness. And the next time your knee lands, let's just tuck the toes. Go back into downward facing dog stretch again. Let's step your left foot forward. Inhale, warrior eight. Exhale, circle the arms, but this time I want the right elbow under your left, touching the shoulder, the back of the hand, or a prayer. You do have a prayer, elevate the prayer higher, please. Shoulder blades lower, elbows closer to me, shoulder blades tighter. Step up into chair, stay in a nice chair, or the right leg could wrap over the left this time if you want. Tighten stomach muscles as you exhale. A good hold here, strengthening your legs, improving your balance. And again, remember that breathing. Deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. A little sound to your breath, please. And just stand back up and put the right foot firmly on the mat, the hands to your heart this time. We're going to shift our weight to our right foot. The left leg is going to lift this time like that. And then we're going to try to come back up and put our left foot back on the floor and repeat exactly the same thing. You want exercise that takes your muscles to different levels of contraction. Notice the hamstrings, lengthening and shortening. Glutes, lengthening and shortening. It's too much of this music today. Let me see if I can bump it here. Next time you stretch into warrior C, I want you to step right back into warrior A. Let's do something a little different for the shoulder. I want you to bend the elbow like this. And now we're going to just turn, careful with this one if you have some rotator cuff weirdness here today. I want you to turn the right arm in like that, left arm backward. And then you're going to repeat the other way and go side to side. And again, if you're working with a rotator cuff injury, you're going to need to reduce what I'm showing here. Don't do so deep a stretch. Stay out of the sharp areas. I'm going to post this on Facebook so everybody sees you going like this and like, oh, what are you doing? Now, the next time your arms are back to this position, we'll take the hands, we'll maybe interlock them, lift the arms, and we'll lower the stomach across your right thigh, your chest across your right knee, and maybe lift your knuckles. Straighten the knee when you feel safe. Emphasize some nice intensity. Remember your breathing. Keep your body under that relaxed state. Fingertips could be on a block or the floor if you prefer. Emphasize. Let's bend your knee, put your hands on the sticky mat. Step back into down dog. Now, come into hands and knees for a second and just peek at me. Some of you already know this. You don't need to do this at all. Just go back to down dog and do it. We're going to do a push-up from down dog. It looks like this. It's called a pike push-up. Try to stay in down dog, Cecilia. Try to stay in down dog. Hips are high. Yes. Now try that same move. You got strong arms. Easy for you. Look how easy that is. Nice, everybody. Plank, everybody. Very nice, Cecilia. Come down flat on your stomach. And you can now rest your arms. Stack your hands under your forehead. But unfortunately, bend your right knee. Point your toe at the sky and lift the knee as high as you're comfortable with. Then come back down and repeat. Compare the two sides. Notice which side's a little freer in hip extension, which side's a little tighter. Maybe you're noticing some weakness compared to the other side. Or maybe this side is the stronger side. And the next time your knee lands, let's do a nice child's pose, everybody. Let those glutes really lengthen on this particular posture. And the last one really contracted them. And if the squat stretch was okay for your knees, let's repeat it, but we'll hold it this time. If you don't want to do squatting today, then feel free to sit on the floor and just touch the feet together and drop the knees out at an angle. Now, if it's okay, I'm going to just work the stretch this way, pushing my knees apart. And then I'm going to bring my knees towards each other. Now, I can add a little more than this if I want. I'm going to maybe take my right knee and I'll touch the floor of my mat like that. And then I'll go back into this again. And then I'll take my left knee this time and I'll try touching the floor, creating what's called internal rotation on my hip joint. Let's do one more with the right knee. And then just one last one with my left knee. And then I'll come into a gentle standing forward bend. Shifting the weight to the heel, though, we're going to circle the arms up to the sky. Let's bring the hands to your heart and let's bring the weight to your left foot again. I want you to take your right heel and let's rotate your knee out to the right side of the room. And that's good enough. Leave your foot on the mat. Or if it's challenging and you'd like to try it, put the foot on the shin or the inner thigh. You choose. If you do have the foot on the inner thigh, let's press the legs tighter together and push the right hip towards me, the right knee away from me, and the hands can stay at the heart if you like, or they can elevate above your head if you prefer that. Breathe. Just 30 seconds here. I'm going to be doing balance work like this every day, always strengthening your nervous system. Put your hands back at your heart if they're not already there, and take a large step forward with your right foot. And let's try that warrior C, but this time we'll hold it. So lean out towards the window. When you're ready, lift the back leg into the air. Hold. Ten seconds. Now, step back to your warrior position, and you're going to choose the next pose. Bring the arms up like that. Lift your back heel again. Let's take your left hand towards the window, right arm back. Now, some of you, I want you to put your left hand on a block. Some of you put the left hand inside the foot on the floor. Others, try it left elbow outside the thigh. Touch a prayer maybe. Some of you might even open the arms outside the leg and take the right arm across your right ear, working into a very challenging Pavrita Parshva Konasana. Nice, Puja, very nice. Hold. Breathe. Beautiful ranges of motion on this exercise. So much going on. Strength training, balance training, so many different muscles working. Whole body's engaged. Downward facing dog stretch, please. Let's work your lower back a little differently. Let's come to a plank position, please. But you can put your knees down if you want. I'm going to lower my hips like that. And then I'm going to go back into another down dog. And let's repeat. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Move like this on your breathing. Now this time, when you go back to down dog, walk backward on your hands towards your feet. And if the squat was comfortable, sit into it, but this time just hold it steady. Some of you, I just want you to work here. Now others might want to be trying an arm balance right now. The hands could ground if you like. We're going to bend the elbow and lean into the arm. Maybe set the knee on the back of the arm and float the hips and heels and even the toes perhaps. Just 5 breaths on that one, please. No more than 5. And when you're done, put the feet back down. And when you're down, back on the floor, let's all come into a gentle standing forward bend, please. Set the hands on the hips and come up with a flat back. And let's take your left heel this time. Rotate the left kneecap towards the prop wall. Maybe put the foot to the shin or the inner thigh if you want. One or both hands to your heart or above your head if you like. Eyes fixed and just 30-second hold, not a big deal. Navel point into the body a little bit. Good one for Mula Bandha. If you like that contraction, engage that Mula Bandha, pelvic floor contraction. Good one for Uddiyana Bandha as well. Lift the ribs, transverse abdominis. Hands to your heart. Large step towards the windows, left foot. And let's gently move into Warrior C when you're ready. Take your time, move at your own pace. You can always put fingertips on a couple blocks down there. Try to drop the right hip a little bit. Turn the inner right knee up and let's feel that strength in your foot, your calf muscles, your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings, your hip flexors. Stepping back, Warrior A. But if it's comfortable, lift the back heel again. Bring your right hand towards the window, left hand to the back wall, and you can put the hand inside the foot on a prop or the floor, or you can try your right elbow outside your thigh, hands to a heart, maybe even open the arms outside the leg and take the left arm across your left ear this time. Nice. Back knee towards straight, but it's okay if there's a little flexion there. Bend the front knee deeper, challenge your range of motion. We did those deep stretches at the very beginning. Remember those elbows towards your inner foot. Preparing for this posture. 5 seconds. Now this time's different. Put the hands on the floor and walk gently over to the breathe wall on your fingertips. Turn your toes in, your heels out, and lift your chest a little bit. And if it's comfortable on your back, I want you to take your right arm, swing it out to the right, touch the ceiling. Now put the right hand back on the floor and do the same exact stretch with the left side of your body and go side to side like this. Really work isometrically. Squeeze the back of your knee towards flat. Try to lift the kneecap. Lift the arches in your feet. Strengthen your muscles. And next time your left hand touches the mat, let's put your hands on your hips and come up with a nice flat back. Let's turn both of your feet towards the back wall, please. And bring your arms out parallel with your shoulder. And if it's comfortable, we're just going to drop into what's called triangle position. Right hand on your shin, ankle, or floor. And take that left hand, turn it in one direction. Turn it maybe clockwise, if you can figure out which way that is right now. And then turn it counterclockwise and go side to side. That same type of rotation you did earlier. Now, if it's okay in the shoulder joint, and only if it's okay, take the back of your left hand and place it on your lower back. Maybe wrap to the front of your right hip. Now look down at the floor. Let's bend your knee. Now, some of you might need a block, so feel free to release all this. Go grab a block. We're going to put our right hand on a block or the floor. Shift our weight to our right hand and our right foot. Lift your left leg. Ardha Chandrasana. Hold. Have fun with this one. If you want to challenge yourself, try closing your eyes. But please don't take anybody else out with you if you have to get out of that pose. Breathe. Don't rely on your eyes so much. Focus on what you're feeling. Does that sound like Obi-Wan Kenobi? Step back with your left foot. Stand all the way up and put the hands on the hips this time. Turn the feet as wide out as they go away from each other. And I want you to do some nice, comfortable squats again. Sit down towards parallel. And then come back to a straightening. And repeat that. Again, how deeply you squat is entirely up to you. Maybe it's a little gentler today. Maybe you're going pretty deep into the range of motion, really challenging your leg muscles. Lots of good range of motion today. Now, next time you straighten the knee, let's just turn both feet to the windows. And let's come into that triangle stretch when you're ready. Left hand on left shin, ankle, or floor. Hold here. It's okay in your right shoulder, and only if it's okay, turn the arm in one direction, then turn it the opposite way, and just go back and forth between the two ranges of motion. The next time the back of your hand is facing that breathe wall, drop the hand on your lower back, maybe wrap to the front of your hip. Look down at the floor, bend your front knee. Let's put your left hand on a block of the floor, and shifting your weight to your left hand and your left foot, lift your right leg this time. Hold here. Try to lift the leg higher. Try to turn the hip higher. Try to turn the shoulder higher, and now maybe shut the eyes. Now don't try this with your eyes closed. Open your eyes first, please. Step back, warrior position, but face the breathe wall one last time. Turn the feet as wide as they go again, and hands on the hips, and sit into that squat that you achieved the first few times, but now put your hands towards your knees. And now gently turn your shoulders as far to the right as you can. Look over the right shoulder, stretching your neck, then go to center, and then repeat the other way. Go side to side. Really stretch those oblique muscles, those scapula muscles, and maybe a little bit of your neck as well. Meanwhile, you're doing tremendous strength training in your leg muscles right now. Next time you complete the last twist, let's center and just straighten the knee. Turn the toes in and the heels out, hands on hips. And when it feels safe, start to hinge forward. Fingertips on the mat, stay there. Or walk the hands backwards, maybe even grab the big toe if you want to. Some of you might want to interlock the hands behind you. Any one of those would be fine. Nothing should hurt. There shouldn't be any sharpness. If there is, you're backing off. You're not pushing into that stuff. Let's just do 10 more seconds, please. And just walk over safely to the left foot with your fingertips. Child's pose, please. Sit up for a second, and we're going to bring your feet around and in front of you. Bend your knees and set your feet close to your hips, please. Hands, let's touch the thigh bones like that. And all I want you to do is use those stomach muscles we worked so hard today in those couple of body exercises. We're going to lift your shoulder like that. Reach up, try to touch your kneecap, then come back down. Now, if that hurts your neck for some reason, then feel free to put the hands under the neck instead, please. Remember, push your lower back into the floor each time. Really work those rectus abdominis and oblique muscles here. And next time you come down, take a tiny rest, please. Straighten the legs out towards the windows, please. Put a slight bend in the knee, though. Don't try to make them lock. So flex the knee a little bit like that. Bring the arms next to the ears. I'm going to leave my left leg on the floor. I'm going to lift my arms, shoulders, and chest and lift my right leg like that. Then I'm going to come back down. Now I'll do the same thing with my left leg. Go side to side. Try to keep your lower back flat and grounded. Really focus on keeping the lower back grounded. That's why you want to bend your knees slightly. You don't want to keep your knees straight. You want to keep your lower back flat. Let's do one more with the right leg, please. And just one more with the left leg. And then relax. Knees bent, feet flat. This next one is no fun at all, I promise you. Take the legs straight up to the sky. Interlock fingers under your neck. I'm just going to use my muscles in my stomach and lift my shoulder like that. Then come back down and repeat. Try not to pull on your neck. Try not to let the weaker leg ride the strong leg. Keep the feet slightly apart. Knees to chest, rest. And when it's comfortable, I just want you to sit up. Take your legs straight down the mat. There's a couple ways to do this exercise. A little more modified, I'll bend the knee and set the feet like that. A little stronger, I'll put the legs straight. Hands come behind me. I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blade. Don't do it yet. Just watch. I'm going to lift myself into a reverse plank pose. Notice my feet, though. My feet aren't doing that. I want you to dorsiflex your foot. Really pull your legs back into a nice strong contraction. We're going to try to hold that for 30 seconds if that's possible. You can try. Ready? Go. Feel the entire back of your body, glutes, hamstrings, back muscles, scapula muscles, shoulder, tricep. Breathe. Keep holding. 5 seconds, almost home. And let's come back down again. Very nice, everybody. Let's take the glutes and just pull them back like that. Arms come up like that, still, and we're just going to hinge gently and touch whatever is comfortable. We'll bounce back up for a second, and let's repeat. And this time, if you want to do something a little gentle, just grab the shin or ankle. Others might want to grab the foot this time, and maybe you'll pull to stretch. You're very warmed up. You're ready for a deep stretch if that feels good for your body. Otherwise, take it easy. Let me back up on your next inhale. Let's start to cool down a little bit now. Laying back on your back, we're going to take ourselves into a nice, comfortable twist. Bring the right knee to your chest and take the left hand, grasp the outside of your right thigh. We'll take our knee over to the left side of the room, holding a nice stretch like that. Back to center. When you're ready, do the other side, please. And then back to center. If you want something under the legs to make yourself more comfortable, please do that now. Take the arms out parallel with the shoulder. Open the palms towards the ceiling. Close your eyes. Notice how your body feels. Notice your state of mind you created. Physical and mental health. Maintenance. Prevention. All important parts of why we do a yoga practice. Thank you so much for coming today. I hope you had a great practice and you feel good. Namaste, yogis. Nice workshop coming up, handstand workshop. There's information out in our lobby about that, as well as more information on our website. Coming up soon. If you're interested, check out that handstand workshop. I want to thank those of you that came from home or wherever you happen to be in the world today. And we'll see you next time.